Today we are making the crochet cold shoulder mesh top. You can make this with the butterflies or without the butterflies. That is completely up to you. The tutorial is beginner friendly and made to measure, so all sizes. You are welcome to make one for yourself. You're gonna need 4 panels, the front and the back panel. These are so identical, and then 2 panels for the sleeves, one for the left and one for the right. And this shall be folding into half like this before you sew them together, and you'll grab them and then come and put them onto your work here like this to make the cold shoulder top. Make a slip knot, and after making a slip knot, you're going to chain in multiples of 3. When you come up with your desired length, you'll add on 5 more chains to that. Another way to measure your chain, a suitable chain, is to simply place it against your body. It has to run from one shoulder to the end of the other shoulder. For my case, I made a chain of 71, okay, and the chain of 71 is measuring 21 inches. Now you're gonna count off 7 chains, okay, and then you're gonna go into the 8th chain, but then go to the back loop again, okay. Go to the back loop of the 8th chain with a double crochet. Chain 2, skip the next 2 chains and go into the 3rd chain with another double crochet. And you're going to repeat this all the way to the end of row 1. Here we come to the end of row 1. You're gonna make a chain of 2, skip the next 2 stitches and go into the last chain with a double crochet. So this is end of row 1. Row 2, you're simply going to make a chain of 5. A chain of 5 counts as a double crochet and chain 2 space. After that, you're going to yarn over and come on top of the next double crochet. You can tell that we are skipping the first 2 double crochet space, okay. Now you're going to make a chain of 2, skip the next 2 stitches and go on top of the next double crochet with another double crochet, and you're going to repeat this, and then I'll meet you towards the end. Here we are. You're going to make a chain of 2, 1 and 2, and go into the chain 5 space that we started with, or the chain 7 space actually that we started with another double crochet. So this is end of row 2. For row 3, you're going to make a chain of 5 again, turn your work, and you're just going to continue, okay. You are going to keep repeating row 2 until you have 10 rows. That's for both the back and the front panel. You can see I made 10 rows, okay, 10 rows before I started to decrease my work. So do the same, go ahead and make 10 rows before you start to decrease your work. And if you are to measure my work here, after 10 rows, it is measuring only around 6 inches long. So after making 6 inches long, repeating row 2 only, you're going to start to decrease your work from row 13. So from row 11. So for row 11, you're going to make a chain of 3 instead of a chain of 5. Make a chain of 3 and turn your work. Yarn over, okay, and after yarning over, you're going to skip the next 2 stitches and go on top of the next double crochet with another double crochet. So that's a decrease, chain 2, and then you're going to proceed normally. Chain 2, skip 2, place a double crochet, and do this until you have 3 stitches left. Here we are. You're going to make a chain of 2 again, and you're going to come into the next double crochet. Okay, now chain 2, go on top of this double crochet. Now for row 11, you're not going to chain 2 when you're finishing off that row. Instead, remember we were chaining 2 before we went into this chain 5 space, but now for row 11, just go into it with another double crochet without making another chain 2. For row 12, chain 3 again. So row 12, you're simply going to repeat row 11. So chain 3, turn your work, and here you're going to skip all these stitches, okay, and go on top of the next double crochet. Skip that first double crochet there, okay, go into the double crochet that is after the chain 2 space. As you can see, we are no longer chaining 2 at the beginning of the row and at the end of the row. And also what has changed is that we are not chaining 5 when we are turning, but rather we are only chaining 3. So repeat this up to the end of the row. I'll meet you towards the end of the row. Here we are. You're going to come here with a double crochet, and remember the decrease we made the other side. After that, we are just going to go into, we are not chaining 2 again, okay? Just go on top of the next double crochet. This is like only 1 stitch on top here, so you're going to go into it with a double crochet without chaining 2 again. Like I've said, when you're starting and ending your row, make sure you do not chain that chain 2 space, okay? So for row 13, you're going to repeat the same thing as row 12. So you're going to keep repeating row 12 until your whole work is made up of 17 rows in total. So 17 rows are measuring around 9 inches in length, and that is fine for me. And you're gonna need 2 panels now for the front and the back panel, which are so identical, so nothing changes. And then you'll need 2 sleeves. For the sleeves, I made a chain of 50, which are measuring 9 inches wide and 18 inches long. For the sleeves, you're going to repeat the same process as the front panel, only that you're not going to decrease here. You just go straight up. Like keep repeating row 1 and 2 of the front and the back panel until you come up with your desired length, okay? So you're gonna need 2 panels for the sleeves. And now to begin to join, we are going to join in a kind of different way today, and for that, for the top part, you're only going to make a chain. You can make this chain as long as you want or as short as you want to, as long as it can be able to join at the top, both on the left side and then on the right side. So my chain is measuring around 6 inches long, and now you're gonna come to the top right corner of the front panel and make it go through. Then go to the top right corner of the back panel, make it go through, and now you can tie it. So on your body, you'll be tying it as tight as you want it to be, or as comfortable as you'd like it to be. So it can be either tight or not so tight, because we want our neck to be able to go through this thing, or our head to be able to go through this thing. So do the same onto the other top left corner. The next thing we're going to do is join the sides. So I decided to simply join from row 9 going downwards. Remember, we started to decrease from row 11, so you can either join from row 10 or from row 9 going downwards. And for that, I decided to use my darning needle. Just attach your yarn and begin to sew the sides together. And when you're done, you can try to fasten it off before you cut it off, or you can try to weave in the ends and then just cut it off. So you should be having something that looks like this. This is on the right side, okay? And I'm going to repeat the same procedure onto this side too. For the sleeves, you can decide first attach them together before you attach it to the body, or you can decide first attach it to the body and then just stitch it together like from top to bottom. So you're gonna come, fold it into half like this, and then grab that corner and make sure that the corner is corresponding with the underarm sewing that you have just made. So you're gonna come here and now grab your darning needle, and of course you already attached our yarn in there. So just come, let's say maybe an inch or two from the underarm lining of the body of the top. And now you're gonna do that on both the left and the right side. Remember, we folded it into half before attaching it, so you can measure and make sure that maybe you just sew together 4 inches, because 4 inches would be really okay. And if there's anything you do not understand, just drop it in the comment section. I'll be so glad to get back to you. And I also have other tutorials about cold shoulders, so you can also watch those just to pick a leaf. So go on and sew your work. I've sewed it out of around 4 inches, and then I'll meet you when you're done. When you're done, you can now cut your yarn. So do this for both sides, and now you can join your sleeves in the sides from this point going downwards. And I wanted to experiment something which I finally did. Okay, so you should be having something that looks like this, but remember to join the sleeves together in the sides too. So I wanted to experiment with the butterflies, okay, but these are not a must for you to have. That's why I've shown you both pics of with and without the butterflies. So after joining your work together, you'll be just placing them in the corners, like at the top and at the bottom. And to place them there, you just need to make them, and then after you can just tie them onto your work. I'll be leaving a link where you can find a tutorial of how to make these very simple but cute butterflies. Thank you for watching. I'll be meeting you on my next tutorial. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe for more amazing crochet tutorials. Happy crocheting and bye.